But a lot of us just don't really know because you're here on another purpose. Like me, I didn't know that my purpose would be to sit here and share my journey with you, share my story. I didn't know. So I was always running around in the world trying to figure out what I needed to do, trying to help here and trying to help there and find this job and do this job, and everything just never worked out. And then I would thought it's me. I'm flawed. There's something wrong with me. No, you're just here for a specific type of purpose. And your natal chart will help you find that out. If you can, I can't read. I'm not great at astrology. I just Google and I hire astrologers to had to read my chart for me and tell me what's in there. And then I started digging from there. And the beautiful thing of astrology is, and why it helped me with loving myself more and accepting myself more to the point that I'm sitting here right now, is because your whole life you have been told who you are and who you are not, and which parts of you are acceptable and which parts are not. And when you read on paper, on a screen, what a stranger that doesn't know you writes about you in your chart, and it resonates, it's your truth, even your quirks you can find in your chart. And that gave me the acceptance, like, wow. And the inside, like, wow, it's written here. I'm just reading myself. All my quirks, all my things, which I thought were not acceptable. Because it makes me weird. It's standing here that it's part of me. It's part of my design. That opened a whole new door of acceptance for myself. So if you want to empower yourself, get into astrology. Just start with the 7 big signs: your sun, your Mercury, your Venus, your Jupiter, your Chiron, your Saturn, and your Pluto. And start Googling. I've got my sun in the first house in Scorpio. When I saw my chart for the first time, that was just seeing the chart gave me so much insight, because I've always had this struggle with, and always this voice in my head, like, who am I? 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 And that was the reason why I kept digging. I kept searching for information. I kept searching for healing modalities. I just kept digging because I wanted to find out who I am. And when I saw my chart and saw that everything, almost everything on 3, but those are degrees that they all are the same. In Scorpio, in the first house of self, and the first house is also ruled by Aries. Ow, my mind just blew, because now I understand. And I was like, why is everything there? What does that mean? And my Chiron is right on the opposite of it. And your Chiron is your wounded healer, is your wound that can be healed. But if you heal it, you can help other people with the same wound. And I was like, what's that mean? So I got an astrologer to read my chart for me. And the first thing he said was like, oh, you're here to figure out, like, what the hell is going on here? And I'm like, yes. Like, yes, because what is that? Why is everything there? And she explained to me, well, that's the first house of self. It's all about you, how you look, how you how you see yourself, how the world sees you. And the thing is, was like, okay, and it's the first house is Aries. That's a natural leader, just a go-getter. And I was like, oh my God. But then she said, okay, but your Chiron is on the opposite of it. And your Chiron is your unhealed, uncurable wound. And it's on the opposite in your seventh house of relationships. And I was like, that's why my relationships were the way they are. Because I always felt like I had to shrink myself in a relationship. I had to be submissive. While I'm not a submissive person, but I would submit myself to my partner. And I couldn't understand why. I couldn't understand why. And now that I saw my natal chart and my Chiron in the seventh house, I got to understand, okay. And then it was conflicting with everything that was in my first house, my sun, my Venus, my moon, my Mercury. So everything that I knew of myself was being conflicted with my Chiron on the other side. So I was always in struggle with myself. The relationship that I have with myself was being reflected in the relationships that I had with the people around me. And I didn't understand. And I was always trying to fix the relationship with the people around me, hoping that it would fix my relationship with myself. Now it's the other way around. I needed to fix my relationship with myself so I could fix them. So, and then from that, automatically the relationships around me would change. And baby, did that happen. People fell away that needed to be falling away, but the people that stayed, the relationships are so much different. And I didn't ask them to do anything. I didn't ask them to change anything. I just healed and changed myself. Not even changed, I became more of myself. And that's being reflected in my surroundings. So I would urge you to go get your natal chart and start Googling and start loving and accepting yourself just as you are. And also the parts of myself that I was suppressing, that were in my subconscious, parts of myself that I didn't want, that society had told me were not good for society and were not acceptable. And I thought they were not fitting to my image. Also are in your chart. You read about them and you're like, I have pushed you away for so long. All the while, you were supposed to be part of me. Because the thing is, you, we all, the collective, we all need you whole, all of you, your light and your dark. And when you heal your darkness, bring it into balance, you can now use it consciously. Now it's not just a reaction. You will set a boundary in response, not with a reaction, not from pain, not from agony, not from anger, but that you just know I need to set a firm boundary here. And I will put that boundary here, and I will not feel guilty about it. I will not think bad of myself about it, because I know I'm a good person. I know I'm a nice person, but I need to have boundaries. And if ever comes up to me, I will stand up for myself. That's different than when you are being triggered and you react from a trigger, and afterwards you ask yourself, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Oh, that was unnecessary. Oh, I should do that. Beating yourself up. No, no. Bring this two into balance. Make the devil your footstool. I got the devil on a leash, sitting right next to me, and I will use it when necessary. Do not confuse my kindness for weakness. And that's when you take your power back. And that's how you take your power back. And on that note, I am leaving this video. I wish you all a very nice day. Go be the magical being that you are. Spread your magic. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.